live. Oh. Okay, we're live somewhere. That counts. Okay, hi everyone who's joining us right at the beginning of our second session of 2025, coming back for Hell's Rebels. I am your GM. I am Ash. These are my lovely players. Say hi, lovely players.
Hi, lovely players.
Hi, Percy.
Oh, you said it wrong. Anyway, hello everybody who's joining us right at the beginning. As we continue to do what we always do on Assembled Ventures, which is play silly games and raise money for charities. The charity that this game is currently campaigning for is the Albert Kennedy Trust, which works with homelessness and safe spaces for LGBT plus youth and LGBT plus young adults in the UK. So thank you for anybody who has already donated. Thank you for anybody who chooses to donate. There will be a Just Giving link around, which will be able to let you give away any pennies that you have to spare. But in the meantime, we'll get right back into Hell's Rebels. After exploring the layer of the Order of Sacred Archivists, which had been taken over by Asmodean worshippers and Asmodean redactors, the Silver Ravens had started to collect various information, intel and the like, in order to work out what they wanted to do next, in order to make moves into the next stage of their rebellion against the tyrannical Barzillai Thrune, Lord Mayor of Kintargo. As they were finding out about movements from a new Hell Knight order that has been brought into the city, and the Order of the Torrent, the resident Hell Knight order, which is one of the good ones, according to our Hell Knight fan, looking at Blue Blood. They have, as of a recent proclamation, been all declared outlaws, and their lictor, Octavia Sabinus, has seemingly disappeared without a trace. Which everybody was starting to try to work out what they were going to be able to do to try to track him down, when, as luck would have it, a certain somebody was able to reach out to try to contact you, who happened to be the lictor's cousin, Citrona, the tavern keeper of the Tooth and Nail, a seedy-looking pub in Old Kintargo, who had reached out to the Silver Ravens for assistance. She reckons that she knows exactly where her cousin would be if he was in fact not imprisoned, and has led you on a short walk out of the city towards what used to be a shrine to Saint Senex, which you guys have just started to approach. So if I put you all on this little map here, and if you guys want to place yourselves around Citrona, which I'll blow her up for you big so you guys can see how lovely, well, I'll try to at least. Oops. Everything is fine.
Excellent bodyguard squad we are. Can't even escort a person without them disappearing.
What have I done here?
You made someone evaporate.
I think you've done something to the grid layer.
Yeah, I don't know how I've done that. Oh, that's what I did. So Okay, yep, you guys are on that layer. Yep. And then the map is okay, cool. The map is now on the correct layer. Good to know. Fixed it.
Oh my god, they're huge!
She's stop doing that. What did I just do? How do I keep doing this?
You moved to do a different layer by mistake.
Yeah, I don't know which layer I'm moving to is the problem.
Oh no.
Okay, she's on the right layer. She's just too big. Come on. There we go. Okay, she's on the correct layer. That's great. And then we're just going to make her person-sized. Huzzah! We got her in the end. Ah, okay. Back to normal.
Got 'em.
So. Okay. So you guys are heading up this fairly short path over over shallow waters of a bog. The rise and fall with the tide of the rivers, leading towards a small dome. Well, a small dome, a dome that is about 8 feet high. Go. Yeah, a 2-foot wide path rising up to the marshy from the marshy ground, leading to a heap of stones and driftwood, with an opening on the southeast side, as you can see, flanked by 2 poles sporting gouts of fire that dance erratically in the ocean breeze. And as you guys approach, within the dome, you can see 2 figures look out towards you. These are 2 figures clad in tattered rags, look to be about middle-aged, both human. There are seashells woven into beards and hair, with shells and bits of driftwood knotted into both their hair and their clothes. They both come out to meet you.
Greetings. Is this the shrine of St. Xenex?
It is indeed. And what might travelers be doing in these parts?
Come to visit a friend who is lost to us.
They must be lost to be all the way out here. No one comes to visit the shrine anymore.
Well, may we speak inside? Pay respects?
They look towards the dome. This shrine may be small, but it is still sacred to us.
Yes, it is a place of worship.
Anybody who wants to can make a diplomacy check for me or a sense motive check.
I'll raise a hand and say, "Upon my oath, we mean you no harm."
Which oath would that be?
An oath from the grace of Iomedae.
Interesting.
What were the rolls? Sorry.
Diplomacy if you want to try to either make them more friendly or try to get an action out of them, a sense motive in order to try to get a read on them.
Okay. Sense motive.
Cool.
God damn.
These 2 people you can see have just become immediately suspicious. at anyone approaching. They have definitely started with a level of animosity, quite possibly because just they don't see people ever. You probably actually with a 30, you get they have a suspicion of why you're here, and that seems to be driving their own suspicion. And quite possibly their animosity is being influenced because of why they assume you're here.
I will put my. I'll basically unbuckle my sword belt and like wrap it around my rapiers. We're here to see a relative of her. I gesture towards Citronia.
They look to her and go, that is nice, but that is not a face that we know.
It is a sensitive matter. This is why we have come all the way out here. It is not a matter for the open air. By Caden's word, we are friends, or at least I would consider myself a friend to any who do such work. Are you being honest? Yeah.
Cool. Okay. One of them continues to glare at you with suspicion, quite very much like not particularly shifting. While the other like regards you, seeming to soften a little bit. And they say, if this is not a conversation for the open air, then you may step within, but the shrine is small.
I certainly will not intrude on your hospitality.
They'll like step to the side and like gesture for you guys to like enter the dome, as it were.
I'm walking happily.
Okay.
He's like, oh well, I mean, it does look quite cramped in there. I'll wait out here. You all go on ahead.
I'll offer out a hand to Citrona and say, "Bye, lady."
Okay. She'll take your hand and you guys can head inside. Inside the dome itself, is quite obviously small. Just the only real thing of note in the center is an altar right in the center of this driftwood dome, which appears unremarkable in itself. Anybody who wants to can make a perception check for me when you go inside.
Can certainly try. Nope. Too
Okay.
dark.
All right. So, Gideon alone will notice that there is a catch holding the stone in place, and as you kind of like look at this catch for a moment, you realize that this altar itself seems to lift or move in some way and reveal some sort of door or hatch or the like.
So it seems like it's probably some kind of basement layer.
Mhm.
Is there an obvious like offering bowl?
On the altar, there's like a blank space where you imagine that you may be able to lay something out, but there's no like set bowl or anything.
I'll count out 5 silver pieces, one for each of us, and lay them on the altar as an offering to the patron deity of the area.
Generous indeed.
We come as supplicants, it is only right. We seek Sabinus.
You have a Sabinus.
Hmm?
They gesture to the woman. You have a Sabinus.
The other one.
There's another one.
Victor Octavio Sabinus, leader of the Order of the Torrent, a Hell Knight.
Ah. He is a friend to our shrine for a long time. Has cast his breath upon stone many times. We honor those who honor the watery dead. And then they just kind of like, one of them like just stays like basically, the one who let you in is standing next to the altar kind of watching you expectantly. What business may you want with this friend?
His cousin seeks him. She fears him, having been purged by Throne, but said that this is most likely the place he would be if he were still alive. Octavia, do you have
Citrona.
Citrona? Do you have any identification for them? This may go faster.
She goes into a belt pouch and pulls out a simple ring. Anybody who has any ranks of nobility knows a signet ring when they see one. You don't need to see the actual symbol on it to know that this is a signet ring in some respect. Well, I've always got this. If I shout loud enough in the right direction, he might just come running, but I wouldn't want to insult the shrine like that. She says pointedly. Go on.
I'm going to take the 5 pieces of silver off the shrine and I'm going to place them in one of the priest's hands if they will allow me.
The one who's standing next to the altar will like see what you're doing and hold their hand out to you.
I presume that this will it would be a poor idea to keep it on a place that is about to move, would be my guess.
I do hope this is a good family reunion, they say. They pull out a key and go and like kneel down next to the altar. And they twist a lock down near the base before moving the rock out of the way, which reveals a 3-foot shaft going straight down.
Might I presume that there are defenders or other traps available to protect those within?
The shrine has a guardian, of course.
I assume then to prove our worthiness we must overcome it.
Overcome or honor?
I would prefer the latter, but
Then
understand.
let's see if you can. And I'll step aside. You see this 3-foot wide shaft. It's set with iron rungs. They are rusty, but it looks like they will hold for you to descend. Just above the height at which the ladder passes like into the next room, you guys can see a dark, foggy mass obscuring your vision, so you can't actually see what's in the room itself. Anybody who wants to, or who is able to, can make an Arcana check for me.
I don't think I have that. I will buckle my sword belt back on.
Okay.
That would make Arcana.
You've
Yeah,
got a few. You've got a few ideas of what this might be. Some sort of magic which is able to ward against divination and the like. You're not sure of the exact spell that they've used, but that's the kind of vibe that this gives you.
It appears to be some sort of ward.
You will be able to pass through safely. It is just to stop prying eyes.
Very well. Asmoth is going to be the first one down the ladder.
Okay, cool. You guys can go down the ladder and stay on the same map, but give me a second as I do this.
He's just skipping rocks.
Is Evie coming inside as well, or is Evie staying outside?
If it looks like they're going into a dark, mysterious hole, of course Evie's coming. That sounds fun.
Okay, cool. Everybody seems to be going into a dark, mysterious hole.
Well, I guess I'll cast a magic spell on this rock, skip it, and then leave. To the mysterious hole. Woo!
Okay, everybody, if you scroll down the map a little bit, a new map has revealed itself to you.
Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
If you land yourself somewhere on the left-hand side near the chunk of water. Perfect. Okay. So the ceiling of this damp chamber is 70 feet high, bolstered by square supports of rough-hewn wood. There's a shallow pool of water lying in the northwest corner of the room where a rusty iron ladder descends from a hole in the ceiling above. An iron gate blocks access to a corridor in the east. Piles of sail canvas and jumbo coils of rope litter the stony floor, and the walls, floors, and ceiling have been carved to look like wood. Brown paint clings in patches, and it's easy to see how the room may once have looked very much like the hold of a ship. To the west stands a statue carved from driftwood depicting a woman dressed in robes, holding the body of a drowned sailor in her arms. As you guys step into this room, the statue seems to resonate for a moment, and you hear a voice come from the statue itself. Those who would visit the drowned departed must bring to these lips the gift of Lung's bounty, lest my guardians stand before your approach. Anybody who wants to can make a knowledge religion check for me.
Evie's like, is that statue hitting on us? I think it
Knowledge.
wants to kiss.
Not quite, Lady Evie.
I would suggest that perhaps you keep whatever it is you have in your pants.
I agree. So
16 isn't enough, I'm afraid. You're not entirely sure who this statue is. It's obviously... You might be able to guess from context clues, but you're not 100% sure.
I mean, like, it's given St. Senex as the patron of drowned sailors. I assume it's them doing their job, so it's probably a good idea to breathe on the statue they're carrying. The second person.
The drowned sailor.
Yes.
You can try that.
They don't need breath. The drowned sailor does. I'll do that, and I'll walk over, and I won't kiss the statue because that's unhygienic.
Okay. As you walk over to the statue, everybody sees the driftwood and rope that's all around the room starts to twitch and move, coalescing into a pile in the middle of the room before it rises up and forms a personish looking shape made entirely of rope that coalesces and then looks towards all of you.
The Guardian, it seems.
Evie's like hand in front of mouth as trying not to say anything which everyone else would consider sacrilegious.
I'll draw a sword and say, "We mean you no harm, but we will defend ourselves."
It doesn't move or respond.
One of the priests offered that it was defeat or honor. I will choose honor, assuming this works.
Okay.
I'm
So
just gonna walk past it.
you're going where? Sorry.
I'm walking past it towards the statue to breathe on the.
So the statue is this one over here, and the golem is over here. So you don't need to walk past it. You literally just need to walk like 5 or 10 feet towards the
yeah.
statue. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. You walk over towards the statue, and which bit are you breathing on? Sorry.
The drowned sailor, like breathing towards its mouth in the
Okay.
same way you try and resuscitate somebody who is drowning.
Okay. So Gideon goes over, leans over the driftwood statue, and exhales a single breath upon the face-ish area near the lips of the drowned sailor. And as he does, you guys hear a click and the grating of gears as the gate to the east unlocks, and the Guardian simply shifts to one side.
Right.
And
Shall we?
falls back into a pile of rope.
Nice work.
Assuming that our next struggle will be convincing your cousin Citrona, I assume that yourself or my comrade here will handle that.
I mean, part of the reason why I came.
Let's see what awaits us.
Okay. If you guys want to head through. Is there anybody who doesn't, by the way? Or is everybody heading through?
They follow along, but being sort of like very much eyes out, looking everywhere.
All right. You guys are able to head through quickly, which is convenient because you guys managed to get to about. I'll move you all down one. You might guys manage to get into the corridor when you hear the gate click locked again. It sounded like it had been unlocked for about a minute before it reset.
Well, no path backwards.
Let's keep going. The sooner we're through this, the better.
Okay.
Wait, is the map wonky for everybody else? Because like this corridor that we can see, it just appears to be wall.
Yeah, I think I framed it a little bit badly. There is also some it's also partly the fog of war. There you go. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. You guys continue through down this very thin corridor. Azimuth is in the wall.
Oh no, our worst fears is in our walls.
Yeah, there you go.
on my screen, I wasn't.
Okay, you are now not in the wall. Okay, you guys continue on through this corridor, and you come to. I'm jumping around so much. There we go. Boom. You come to a 7-foot high vault, which contains over 3 dozen human-shaped bundles of sailcloth each wrapped tightly, sewn shut with heavy thread, and laying respectfully side by side on the stone cold floor. There's a shallow pool of water lying in the southeast corner, while in the northeast corner of the room, someone has set up camp. And as you guys step in that camp, you see a rather grumpy looking, heavily armored man. He looks up at you all as you enter. These shrouded bodies are of those of drowned sailors with no living relations, given a place of honour down here by the grace of Saint Senex. Those who seek Octavio Sabinus have found him. His safe capture, however, is no certain thing. As he
Blood immediately,
stands up to
fist to the
meet you.
chest, kneels down.
Is this how you treat your cousin?
She's like conveniently at the back. Excuse me? And Citrona kind of like pushes through everybody to get in. Honestly, Octavia, do you always have to be so dramatic?
It's an occupational hazard.
I'm afraid it is, you know. The second he sees his cousin, Octavio is like kind of the wall that he seemed to have put up of gruffness does fade a little bit. And he's like, Citrona, what are you doing here? He says, I'm here to find you and get you back and get them to help you deal with all of your mess. Kind of looks to the rest of you like with a raised eyebrow of, who are these people and why does she think they can help me?
We represent the Silver Ravens, Lictor Sabinus. We're here to help.
You those rebels I've been hearing about?
And you're an outlaw.
Don't remind me.
My comrade here is a fan of your orders and closer to you than me, but the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Right, well, you are of the rebels, if not the rebels, which means you stand against Thrune. Good. Someone needs to.
Legally speaking, I can't confirm or deny that I stand against the bastard Azrai Thrune, who may he be cut forever in whatever hell exists.
Which one of the 9?
That is actually Lictor's response, the Octavia's response. Which one of the 9?
Any 3. Any.
Interesting. Right, well, you have found me. I do, however, have to confess it may have been a wasted visit.
You intend to let your sword rust and go to the grave without opposing your enemy?
It is not so simple.
Seems incredibly simple.
He holds my armigers in captivity, in imprisonment. One wrong move, and I lose those who entrusted themselves to me.
Then we take them back.
If you take them back,
we're
then
finally breaking into a prison.
you take them back, then you will most definitely have my sword. Because at that point, I will owe you, as will the entire order. As much of this as there are.
Prison break. Prison break.
What can you tell us about where they are imprisoned, my lord?
I do not know for sure, but if it works the same way as it always has, then they will at least be spending a stint of time in the holding house.
Okay. You think they are being held rather than being directly excruciated?
I do not, well, it may very well be the Barzillai is waiting to find me for his first public excruciation. It may be that he gets bored and excruciates them anyway. And he will only hold them in the holding house for a time. It's a holding house for a reason. They will eventually move on to somewhere more permanent as their imprisonment.
I presume no one has any objections.
I'm a bit disappointed that we're not going to do a proper prison break, but other than that,
The holding house is still difficult enough to get into and navigate, especially with the warden that it has.
What can you tell us about Zavordan?
Spider? Nasty thing.
Spider.
That's what they called her, or call her.
He's an Asmodean cleric, and a powerful one.
Ah, you've met.
Unfortunately, yes.
Hmm. Right.
How powerful are we? Are we talking major miracles or?
I've never seen her perform the miracles themselves. I only know her by reputation, and her reputation is one that her subordinates fear.
Stronger
That's
than
how
us,
she gets her
but
loyalty.
stronger than us, but not by much.
What role and title do they hold in the Church of Asmodeus?
Good question.
Because I would describe myself of the clergy of Caden Kalian, but I would not call myself a cleric.
Pardon me?
I know that Thrune is affiliated with the church as a, I believe, Grand Inquisitor.
Or it sounds like I know about as much as you do. She's a member of the church, and she is currently working for the mayor. The mayor. I don't know much more of her than that, only her reputation. One of being very intense and liking to bully her subordinates.
Is that not standard Asmodean fare?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't know, I'm not Asmodean.
You are a Hell Knight. Isn't it part of Chelish law to offer worship to Asmodeus?
No. Not for all of the orders. The Hell Knights make their pacts in order to gain access to the powers and gain abilities and influence within their respective orders. But there are more devils out there than Asmodeus. And there are more out there who we can honor than the demon prince, than the devil prince.
glad to hear it.
I will admit, quite a few of the Hell Knight orders do take the Chalish national religion rather seriously. But the people who join my order are good people, ones that Asmodeus has no real time for.
Right. And who do you worship?
Who does he worship? Let's see if I can find out.
I love the idea that that was just said by the cousin.
Who do you serve? Saruman.
Yeah, because thinking of it, there is a Hell Knight order that worships Iomedae, amongst others.
Yeah, the main criteria is that they have to be lawful.
Ugh.
I know,
Order of the God Claw is the explicitly religious order.
Yeah, they're the ones that they worship 5 specific gods, all of whom are lawful.
Order of the Cooties, more like.
I can
Evie's
name
still
4 of them off the top of my head.
Evie's still not allowed to talk about the previous King Room. Okay, we're not. I'm sorry.
He will say that his relationship to the Hell Knight Order is not one of faith. The Order of the Torrent is not one of who prioritizes faith, prioritizes purpose. I'm saying that because it doesn't look like he actually worships a single god.
If I may speak on a selfish point, my lord. My name is Alberic Tenassin, and I have long sought to join your order since well before this proclamation.
Interesting time to join.
Perhaps the best, my lord. If we succeed in rescuing the armigers of the Order, I would like to be considered to take the trial to become a Hell Knight of the Torrent.
If you are able to save my armigers and deal that kind of a blow to Thrune's influence, I don't see why we can't give you a chance. See if you can survive the test.
Thank you, my lord.
You do know what the test is, right?
I do. Single combat with the devil to the death.
Not many can survive that. But I will never fault somebody for trying, especially one who has such noble ideals.
Can you tell us the number and identity of the armigers under your command? That way we will at least know if we get all of them.
Yes.
If
A
you have
number.
any symbol by which they might identify us as friends, that would also be very fine.
Um, there is. Hang on. Yes. He goes to his little bed camp, pulls out because he's got his normal halberd, which is off to one side, but he goes into his packs and he pulls out a bundle of fabric, which he then unwraps to reveal a mithril short sword. If you are able to find my armigers and you need to convince them quickly that you are allies, tell them that this is my mother's sword, and he holds it out to you.
I'm gonna look at Blue Blood. I'm not carrying this sword.
I will take it.
Okay. You take the mithril short sword. As for the other question, most of the major knights of the order were already out of the city. Pardon me.
Satrona did mention that they travelled abroad a lot.
Part of the job. Hang on. How many are there? Where's the number? I want to say 12. Why do I want to say 12?
Because it's
The
a
order
good
as a
number.
whole is about the order as a whole is about 24.
Mm.
Baker's a regular.
Har har.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. I might be making up 12. Why do I grumble? He gives you an answer. He gives you a defined number, which I will find later, of how many armigers there are that need to be rescued.
So many.
So many. There are so many that need rescuing. Okay, yeah. He will give you a defined number, which I just cannot find right now. I don't know why I can't. Anyway.
So we do this, and you will assist us, and I presume any armigers we can retrieve will also join us because they are your servants. Seems like the wrong word.
Aspirants.
Yes, aspirants is the right word. Once they are healthy enough to be able to fight or help, I imagine I won't need to attempt much convincing.
We should. It sounds as though we should probably head back to the city, reconnoiter the area.
That was going to be my recommendation.
Do you require any, what's the word, supplies here?
No. The seers are able to provide me with food and water.
Food and water are enough to maintain the body, but not the spirit.
You want to maintain my spirit, find my people.
Fine, fair point.
All right. Citrona will insist on giving her cousin a hug before they leave, which he seems a bit perturbed by in a, oh, must you really now kind of way. But he accepts it all the same.
Oh no, he's showing emotion.
And you guys are able to head on out. The gate, as much as it locked, after a minute, you are able to leave without issue and climb back up the ladder to return to the dome-like altar with the two seers watching you expectantly.
We yet live. Thank you for your hospitality.
May we see you again soon?
By the grace of Caden.
An interesting one to try and offer grace.
How so?
Grace doesn't seem their forte.
Luck is a form of grace.
I'll give you. We shall be here, protecting our friend until you are able to return them home. Well,
Thank
they
you.
do have one. Okay, and you guys can head off back through the bog and the swamp, down the road, and back into the city through the gates, framed by guards with people toing and froing back into the hustle and bustle of the city.
Evie gets approximately 10 feet outside of hearing distance of the two priests before going. So it was a sex dungeon, right? It was like it had a guy made out of rope. That's so kinky. I'm sorry, it just was.
I think you are tragically misinformed about a lot of things, Lady Evie.
I'm pretty sure that every temple in this city has a secret sex dungeon in it.
No.
I'm just saying.
No.
Perhaps every room could be a sex dungeon with sufficient planning and preparation.
I fear,
So
Evie,
you're saying
this says more about you than it says about religion.
I mean,
That
yes,
from the person who went to it.
as a religious pariah in this city, I do not have a temple of my own that I could give you an answer for. Perhaps you could get an introduction at the Temple of Zon Kuthon from a friend.
look, as a religious pariah in general, I'm not into that, but I just thought I'd point out that, as far as I'm aware, like 9 out of 10 temples
How many temples have you been inside?
10.
I think you just went into sex clubs. There's no shame in that.
Anyway, moving on. As you guys return to the city, it's probably evening by the time you get back. A couple of hours to leave. Fide, Sabinus, come back. It is evening. It's a couple of hours away from curfew. And Citrona will probably beeline straight back for Old Kintargo and her inn, the Tooth and Nail, and let you know that if you want to try to brave a quick drink before curfew comes, your next one is on the house, and she'll head off.
Are we taking her up on the offer, or do we not risk it?
We've got things to do in the meantime. There is a time and place for good drink.
Noted. I just did
Tempting
not,
enough as it is. I think we
I
should
did
head
not wish
back.
to deprive you of the opportunity. I know how you are about your drink, Gideon.
You may seem like an inebriate to some, but compared to many of the faithful, I am surprisingly temperate. A difference of philosophy about how best to worship Caden.
Duly noted.
All right.
Right.
So what are you guys doing next for the rest of the day? You've got a couple of hours left to burn before curfew hits.
Shall we take a stroll past a certain holding house and see what the outer perimeter looks like?
You can indeed do that.
As much as I wish to make reconnaissance, I would err on the side of caution and not go there too much and too closely ourselves, just in case we are made the targets of suspicion.
Good point. Just point me in the direction, and I won't go there.
You know that the holding house is in Old Kintargo. Actually, Citrona is going to be walking past it in order to go back to her inn.
We can't do that thing where we say goodbye and then go in the same direction.
Is there is there what's the word? Is there any kind of businesses or other establishments that we can do the spy thing of pretending to frequent?
The Tooth and Nail. Literally, I'm
Oh,
looking at the map.
literally.
They are basically on the same street. Let me pull you over to the main map.
That makes the free drink an even
So
more important prospect.
the holding house is 010. The Tooth and Nail is 08. So it is down the road. It's not a perfect. It's not a perfect view. But it's not a bad one either, especially with how because Old Kintargo is the first point and therefore is so much more kind of the roads just kind of snake a lot more.
Second thought, that might be a good staging ground.
It is truly a burden.
While having to go to the Tooth and Nail for free drinks.
Yes. surely.
Oh no, his eye's doing that thing where he thinks it's religious providence. I've seen it so many times before.
So you say that, but stuff like finding unexpected alcohol is considered a sign of Caden's favor.
Amazing. Okay, that sounds like you guys are heading for a free drink.
Yep.
Okay. You guys follow Citrona. Back through the city. Heading towards the Tooth and Nail. And on the way, you will get to see the outside of the holding house. So let me just see what I can pull up for you here. So you walk past what looks like a stone one-story bunker-like building. Quite clearly one of the oldest buildings, but also built to be one of the strongest. It shows signs of being abandoned and being fairly newly renovated. Like there is some wear and tear in some of the stones here and there, but you can also see signs of it being patched up and spruced up, as it were. There are strong wooden doors which lead into the building, and otherwise there are no windows. All of the walls seem to be reinforced, like I say, and the building has a gently sloped roof with slate shingles. As you are walking past, you do see a couple of committed guards. Standing in front of the entrance. Yeah, that's what I'll give you for now. Just as a quick walk past, that's what you're able to get.
No chance of like a quick sort of scan over the place as walking past, trying to pick out more details, or
If you want to make a perception check, you can. If you want to make a stealth check in order to try and linger, in order to get a chance to see more, then you can do that too.
okay.
Can I point out some of the basic stuff since I've been toured around inside, so I'll be able
You
to.
have been toured around inside, so you can do that, but we'll do the checks first.
Yeah.
Okay.
My lingering is probably going to be, oh, my boot is coming loose. I better fix that up.
Amazing. Everyone else moves on. Asmos able to linger for a moment more, fixing his boot as he looks up.
Snake
Yeah.
in my boot.
There's a snake in his boot.
It's just
So
his tail.
you
Just his
see,
tail.
yeah. So there is the front door, which is basically the kind of one ahead of you and has a couple of guards. There is also a set of double doors, on another side of the building, both facing on this front side. The double doors are locked. You can see, like, they've got a padlock and chain and stuff on them. Let's see. So you see that there are two guards at the main end of both sets of doors.
Are there sort of buildings nearby that would be sort of comparable of like equivalent sort of height, where it may be like a case if we could do like second story work or.
So this is a single story building. All of the buildings in Old Kintargo are built a little weird and wacky because, you know, they're old buildings. The holding house kind of stands alone and slightly separate from the rest of the buildings because it was at one point a jail, and you get the sense that like they built it separate to the rest of the buildings with enough space around it in order to try to prevent basically make it harder for anybody trying to break in or out. All of the buildings that are nearby would be of a similar height, and you get the sense that they would probably be of a decent height for one of your groups to be able to attempt a stealth and attempt some kind of spying or gather information to work out a bit more about the guards and the like. So as you're looking around, you get the sense that like there are some ways to be able to get more intel from the environment, but less so to be able to use it for your advantage for the actual breakout itself.
Cool, thank you.
But yeah, as you guys are walking away, Albrecht is able to give you a rough idea of what he saw in the holding house when he went through. So it walked first into the main so the kind of foyer, as it were, which serves as a lounge for the guards and a place to meet with visitors. The next rooms that he saw were the guard barracks and the warden's office, where he actually met Sabo the spider. And she led him through a series of rooms and corridors, all of which were locked, all of which she would walk through. She would unlock a door, walk through, lock that door before she then moved on to the next one, before she then got into a corridor filled with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cells, I think. Yes, 11 cells. At which point she then guided him through the corridor past the cells and into the processing room, where new prisoners are brought in before guiding him out of the double doors back into the open air. Just to give a rough idea of where things are. Like that he didn't see the whole building, but he saw enough and he's able to kind of give you guys that rough map as you then continue on to the Tooth and Nail.
Right.
So when you guys get to the Tooth and Nail and are given your round of free drinks, the place is quiet enough that with it only being Citrona in there with you, you get the sense that you would be able to talk freely in this place in order to start to put together a plan. And Citrona is happy to help you with this for as long as you stay at the inn. And she'll say, the way that I see it, if you don't mind me saying, you've got 3 ways of getting in there. You can either kick down the door, sneak past the door, or trick your way in.
Oh, trick your way in.
Mm.
That sounds easy, to be honest.
Well, if you're gonna do that, you need to there's Octavius was going on about this once. Any kind of thing that happens with prisoners and stuff, they've got all sorts of papers and forms and things to fill out. So all you need is probably to get a bunch of those, which are totally legit, and then take them in, and then pass them off long enough to be able to get a hold of all of the armigers, and then by the time they realize what's happened, you're already out. Or you could, try and sneak in, or kick the door down.
I mean, how many people are there going to be in there plus the spider? There's the 2 guards outside, and that's it, right? It's just 2 people.
No, there was 4 guards. Right, I saw 4 guards.
You saw 4 guards,
Yeah, 2
Asmoth.
guards on each door.
When Albrecht went, during the day, make an intelligence check for me, Albrecht, or a wisdom check to see how much you remember.
It's also, I would say, relatively safe to assume that they will have at least the same number of guards in for the next shift.
18 for intelligence.
Yeah. So you remember seeing 2 guards in the visitor area. You remember seeing 2 guards in the south guard room, which basically looks out into the corridor where the cells are. You remember seeing 2 guards in the processing room. And you remember seeing 2 guards in the break room.
So it's only 8.
Plus Saba the spider. Albrecht will also remember that every door in the building is locked, and the only person that you saw with a key was the warden.
However we decide to get in, we're going to need those keys.
I'm more than happy to go inside and kill everything that serves the rune. It's unlikely that we'd be able to get wildly far before reinforcements from the castle start to arrive.
I mean, it depends. Like, if we can remove the 4 from outside, then we can presumably have free reign of the place. As Albrecht said, there's a lot of locked doors.
I mean, Evie, you seem to have a remarkable talent for these things. Do you have a plan?
I mean, I have one, but it's not very good right now. Like you said, like the main issue is the fact that there'd be reinforcements. So if we could ensure that they were looking elsewhere for maybe an hour, that would probably be enough time.
Cause a distraction?
You've got people that You've got enough people in the Silver Ravens now that you think you could orchestrate something to happen at the same time in a different part of the city. It would need to be timed well.
Mm.
Or would need to be massively over the top. All I'm saying is, what areas of the city do we not mind being very on fire?
I mean, my first thought is granaries. Difficult to put out.
They do have a habit of exploding, though. I mean, I've never done that before.
Evie, I certainly know that I will ask no questions, as long as we are comrades, and as long as they're only directed towards our vile enemy.
So your ability to turn invisible, Lady Evie, how long can you keep that going?
Right now, maybe 5 minutes.
If the warden has to be present to let anyone through the building, then we could use the guise of a prisoner transport to get three of us together in a enclosed space with the warden.
I don't suppose anyone knows if Whist can do. I've heard that there's some magic which like makes everything magically silent. That would be really useful. I'm pretty sure it's a wizard thing.
That would be useful. We'd still have to have a good pretext to have, 6 of us armed go inside a room with them alone?
Anybody who wants to can make an Arcana check for me.
But to work out if Whist is a wizard, right?
I don't have it trained.
That's a no.
Asmoth, you've never seen Whist use magic like that, but you know that in theory, any magic that a wizard could learn, all they need to do is put it in their spell book. So if Whist is able to get access to that kind of magic, all he's got to do is put it in his book, and then make sure he prepares it.
Yeah. If Vist can learn this spell, I mean, he's able to add things to his spell book, much as I am able to add to my book of alchemical formulae.
Something to ask, definitely.
If absolute, this may be a stupid idea, but I am relatively capable without weaponry, provided I am still able to carry concealed. If I have concealed vials upon me, I should be mostly operational.
That was my thoughts. I should be able to get back inside under the same pretense as last time. I can bring the hair doctor as a prisoner, and then Evie can follow behind invisibly.
I mean, I could make Gideon invisible instead. Not to suggest that Gideon is in any way better at fighting than I am, but he's very good at stabbing people.
Or we bring in Whist and use the invisibility on the doctor.
It is getting them out as well that is part of the trick.
Well, I mean, I can get probably most of the outside guards by themselves for maybe a few minutes. But it might look a bit awkward when, like, the third one disappears.
If we orchestrated a distraction so there would be no reinforcements and had another team draw some of the guards far enough away that we could dispose of them in a quiet alley and then rush the place.
I don't think they'll be expecting an attack from inside and outside simultaneously. That would stretch their resources.
Oh, that is what you meant.
We strike the warden at a time when she's vulnerable, and while that causes ripples through everything else, then the people on the outside can attack the guards outside, push their way in that way.
Simple, brutal, effective.
I mean, if we wanted to be a bit more subtle about it than just having the outside team go in, you could just have the outside team on standby to, if one of the guards goes for reinforcements, just intercept them.
That will probably burn any chance I have of melding in with nobility again, but that's the price I'm willing to pay.
I don't believe we should be too willing to abandon that tool at the moment.
I have an idea for that. How do you feel about being kidnapped?
I can attempt to create a disguise from the guards' uniforms. I do have practice at that.
I mean, you would certainly have the appropriate stick somewhere. It at least then preserves your anonymity. If so, you, Evie, and Herr Doctor go in. We then launch the attack from the outside with Whist, and I can't remember Sebastian's character name to save my life.
Sebastian is the character name.
Oh, is it? Okay. I forgot Andrew was the person name. Sebastian.
Andrew is the person name. Sebastian is the character name.
I don't know. Like it feels like that name, suits Andrew.
It does suit Andrew. That is true.
I'm going to be honest, Gideon. I really think that you should be the one fighting the cleric and not me. I'm not suggesting that certain cleric spells might be really effective on me. I'm just not as strong-willed as certain people.
Who goes in what group is a matter for discussion. If that is better, then that is better. Like, I think, do we first of all, is everybody on board with this?
Two of the party members are quite quiet at the moment.
Yeah, I meant the people
Yeah.
that showed up.
Yeah.
Hang on, don't worry, I got this. Hey, Whist, how do you feel about it? Oh, I need a day to prepare my spells, but I've got silence. Oh, thanks for that.
The fact that you don't. Okay, I need to double check what kind of spell silence is.
Amusingly, silence not on the wizard sorcerer list, is on the cleric list and the bard list. I don't understand why that exists.
Amazing. I love that.
Oh yeah, it is. My Oracle has access to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's also on the Inquisitor list.
I remain dedicated to the lie that Whist is not just a cleric wearing
A wizard hat.
Whist is just a very, very capable wizard.
So capable, they learned how to heal, which no other wizard has ever been able to do. That's how good of a wizard they are.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, necromancers can heal, ironically. Pathfinder's weird.
You appear to have inflict and heal mixed up.
No, Pathfinder necromancer wizards can learn how to heal.
I don't know if your wizard is a necromancer, so let's get back on track. So, it feels like the planning has stalled to the point where you may need other people, the missing party members involved, in order to finalize the plan.
Yeah.
But you've got an idea for the moment.
There is a plan.
There is a plan. So, as I understand it, then the plan is 3 of you trick your way in to be able to get the warden alone, fight the warden for the key, and the other 3 of you are going to lead the guards outside on a merry chase. Is that the plan?
I think so.
Okay,
So
cool.
the plan I had for the outside team is basically they hang around in stealth, like social stealth outside. And basically, as soon as there's any sign of a ruckus, so like one of the guards goes in or one of them goes off to go for reinforcements, they just attack from the outside and try and break in. And we'll try and meet up in the middle.
This is an interesting plan you have concocted.
It'll be fine. It'll be good.
Yeah?
Also,
Okay.
I think one of the people who goes to fight the warden has to be invisible and carrying like 12 extra weapons.
Invisible, also clanging with all the extra
Why-
weapons.
Why
Clink, clink, clink.
12 extra weapons?
Because there may or may not be 12 prisoners inside.
I mean, they probably have their shit in there with them.
I mean, their stuff is likely to be like locked up elsewhere in the holding house, but yeah, they would have gone into the holding house with their stuff, which would have been taken off them as part of the processing. So that may still be in the holding house.
If in doubt, we could throw guard buddies and be like, here you go, gear yourself up.
You do also need to make sure that whoever is on the team who is going inside has Sabinus's sword.
Yeah, I'm currently carrying it.
Cool.
I was going to say the paladin can hold on to the ick.
What's
It's
wrong with the
just a
mithril
bit
sword?
It's a mithril sword. It's just super whippy.
It's got nothing to do with the sword. It's got everything to do with who owns it. I'm not contracting lawful cooties.
Amazing.
You know?
Ew, law.
You know, I'd do the same to a holy avenger.
And my mom at the same
Right.
time would I inherit?
Well, that's because I would fist fight you for a holy avenger. I would crawl through the
Apparently-
screen and fight you IRL for it.
It sounds like you won't need to. Cool.
Remember, if a holy avenger turns up, I will also try and wield it. I've got a spell for that. It's fine.
Okay.
What's it called? Deceive alignment.
No comment.
Oh, sorry. I'm not a cop. I'm not going to I'm not going to ask any questions.
Okay. All right. You guys are able to finish your drinks before curfew is called. And head off. With you being in the southern part of the city and possibly not wanting to deal with the toll, that is now on the bridge. Oh yeah, there's a toll on the bridge now, Evie. 5 silver.
Oh my god. That's going to be a place I knock over.
You do know that Old Carthago is, oh, I'm very tired apparently, is on the same side of the city as Red Roof, which is where a certain surgeon's clinic is if you want to hole up there for the night.
I mean, you're assuming that I'm gonna like invite people.
Are you going to invite people?
Yeah, I will.
I was going to say, are you assuming that we follow vampire rules?
This is why vampires always do the tailgating thing that corporate security warns you about. It's like, it's the implication.
Oh my word.
Also,
Okay.
you're willing to follow somebody that you know is capable of awful things to a body.
Yeah, the decisions that this party makes are interesting. Oh my god, why am I suddenly so tired? Okay. I'll let you guys have the evening. Is there anything immediately you guys are gonna want to do the next day, or is it just set up for this plan for the holding house?
Do like Asmoth will be asking do we wish for potions to be brewed in preparation?
That's probably not a bad idea. Might be worth if you can knock up some. As I know, I purchased some Thunderstones, but I know there are other alchemicals that might be useful in dealing with a chase, like grease and other such irritants.
Tanglefoot bags.
That'd probably work.
See how quickly I can mix those up. But potions wise, do we wish for anything?
Definitely healing for the group that goes inside, just in case Whist isn't among them.
Yeah. So like,
Can you do what's that spell? The one which makes like fog cloud.
I could create a smoke stick.
I was thinking something less visible from a distance, sadly.
Asks the wizard.
I mean, a smoke stick.
Give me a second. Oh, maybe I can. Let me check my spell book.
To create the illusion of a fire.
Or just
No one's allowed to tell Rachel about my Whist impression.
Honestly, sounds
Like
bang
Rachel's
on,
in the room with
perfect.
us right
no
now.
notes. No notes.
I mean, so one of the formulae available to me is ones that can grant brief moments of swimming ability and climbing ability. If such a thing would be deemed useful.
Is that monkey fish?
Yeah.
Why does everybody love monkey fish?
After the problem we had with climbing that building before.
Taking no chances.
No chances. And if I make up a bunch of potions of monkey fish, I don't have to use my daily extracts for it.
Oh my word.
I like the idea that it's the punishment potions. It's like you failed that check 3 times. Here's the potion.
What is it? Is it like the Tanuki suit in Mario? It's a party! Yay!
I've just, in preparation for any other prison raids we do, I don't suppose anyone has any lines on like exceptionally good smiths in the city.
I mean, if we're probably going to need a forger if we're planning on forging prisoner orders or something. But there's that dwarf smith on the front that sold me my rapier.
Do you know if they have a line on any what's it called? Adamantium, the super hard metal.
Adamantine.
That sounds like it.
What are you planning on using sky metal for?
Oh, so I heard a war story where someone had like a gauntlet made of it, and it could just break locks really easily.
You could probably, you could certainly ask. I'm sure they'd be happy with the coin if they have the material.
I'm pretty sure it'd be expensive.
I mean, save your pennies, loan money to a paladin.
So at this point, Asimov puts out what appears to be a small, like, toolkit, which opens up and reveals it's like full of lockpicks and things. It's like,
I mean, yeah, that's true. Technically, I think it can also break through walls, which is probably the more important one. But yeah,
Okay. I think what I might do with this one, because obviously we've got a couple of party members missing, and it sounds like your guys are gonna want a couple of days at least to maybe make supplies and try to gather more intel. So what I might do is give you guys 2 to 3 days to do prep, which can be making / acquiring potions, supplies, things like that. If you want to do any kind of gathering of information or spying on the holding house, then you can do that in that time. And I think what I'll do is I'll say that in between now and the next session, we'll work out what you guys do so that next session you guys can try and do the break, the prison break.
Sounds good.
Sound good?
Yeah,
Cool.
sounds great
Oh.
to me.
Okay. I will put that out to Andrew and Rachel then, and let them know what the plan is, and let them know that you guys have like 2 or 3 days to do that with, in order to gather what you need. And I'm flagging now. So I think with it being there, we might call it probably very early for us, but you guys want to start setting up for the next time, and you don't have everybody here, which you need to be able to make that plan. So I
Yeah.
think we'll call it there for now.
so we can all say goodbye. Say goodbye, Wist. Oh, bye, everybody.
it's been nice knowing you, Aurora. I don't think you're going to.
I'm gonna be... Rachel's gonna be so mad.
Hey, you know, if
And-
you died well, at least.
Are we talking about Aurora or Evie right now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
I will stand by my principles of doing a silly voice at any given opportunity.
it is a good silly voice. That is true. Okay.
It's a good silly human who did it.
That is also true. All right. Well, in that case, we're just gonna. I was just going to desperately call the power behind the camera.
Tech support.
And try to stall until then. Albert Kennedy Trust. Let's talk about the charity for a second. Because that is something we can do with our time, which is useful. There we go. So, Albert Kennedy Trust is a UK charity. Its mission statement is to ensure that every LGBT person aged 16 to 25 facing homelessness or a hostile living environment is a safe place to live. So they give LGBT plus 16 to 25-year-olds at risk of or experiencing homelessness support that they need to thrive. With 4 offices across the country, as well as a live chat for everyone to access who needs it. So they do a lot of good work. Sorry, I'm just now seeing stats on the website about homelessness in young people. So 24% of homeless young people identify as LGBTQ+, and 77% of them believe that coming out to their parents was the main factor in their homelessness. Which is just kind of, I say kind of, that's very sad to think of. But that's why this charity exists, and that's the work that they do. And it's really cool that they do that. So let's help them out. Also, their website's really very... You can tell that their website's built for young people in mind. Like, it's all very colourful. That was that's a weird... I know that was a weird thing to say, but
yeah, they're really designing for the like 2-year-olds.
That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. It's I don't know what I meant. I'm tired. Someone shut me up.
Hi, tired. I'm Matt.
Sean, come up and shut me up.
Yeah.
Tech support.
Yes, it is difficult being in the LGBTQ plus community, even at the best of times. So yeah, if any hot single dilfs in our area have some spare cash, or even just any like other people, you don't.
I still can't get over the fact that was our second donation.
I can.
Look, they clearly just wanted to be of help, and I think that's very noble.
It is very noble. It is very noble, and I'm very glad for their help. For the help of everyone who has donated so far.
You heard it here first. Ash loves dilfs.
If I wasn't live on stream, there would be many words I'd say to you right now, and you know it.
I believe it's that would be #relatable.
I'm just digging my hole deeper with this entire stream.
That's a horror. Oh my word!
Right.
Anyone want to plug any more streams while we're here?
Yeah, we do have another person who runs a stream in this game.
I guess there is, yes. So I run Gender Maker, which is a stream of Pathfinder's Kingmaker module. Currently, the party is getting close to the end of one of the books where they have to fight a gigantic, huge owlbear. That will be at some point in February. I will need to round up the players to work that one out. But that one is with all funds going towards Gender Intelligence, who are a UK-focused charity helping trans and gender diverse children. So also a great cause. As soon as I've got information on when we're actually going to be running, usually the second weekend of every month, but with schedules being as they are, you can never be sure. But once we've got a date, I'll be able to advertise that properly.
Please come and watch Alex roll an improbable amount of natural 20s against my character.
Specifically your character.
It's the only way I can hit.
Yeah, I have an AC of a very large number, but for some reason, whenever that dice is rolled against me, that ogre will roll a 20, and I will be half dead.
Oh dear.
It'll be all ogre.
It's got to balance out the fact that my AC is not particularly high, and yet I still manage to never get hit, or rarely.
That's fun.
So yeah, anyone that want to plug
Any of the
anything else?
plugs? Any of the plugs I got? Yes, no, maybe.
Maybe
I believe it now. This is now available on YouTube.
Yes.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hang on. We need to smash that like button. There we go.
Smash the like button. Hit that bell.
Hang on, I've just realised they can make YouTube Shorts out of this now. You better not, Sean.
It's fine.
Yeah, maybe I'll do a stream this year. Who knows?
Maybe. We'll see.
Coming soon. Me and Johnny play Commander online or something. I don't know.
Did you say commander or commando?
Commander.
Both.
I know that is not what Aurora said, but okay.
Yeah, there are
Yeah.
two things that could be meant with a commando stream, and I'm not sure either of them are suitable for Twitch.
What are you talking about? It's a stream where we talk about the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger film Commando.
Obviously, that's the only thing it could be. Everyone else get your head out the gutter.
Like, I'm not even kidding when I say I love that film. Unironically, it is a great film.
I mean, I don't know about you. I wasn't thinking about Aurora naked. Like that's.
What? No one's talking about that. No one's talking about that.
Family friendly, family friendly.
See,
Thanks, God.
the second I went off script, Sean was here.
Stay and tech support.
We are good to head off.
Hey, we're
Silent
gonna head off now,
Sean.
guys. Thank you so much if you stuck around this.